Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Meydan Racecourse here on Friday. It is the 17th of February 2023. Going to look at almost all the races on the program from Meydan, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. We're going to look at almost all the races except the first race, which is for the purebred Arabians. Very tough race. We're going to skip that over and start off with the second race from Meydan, which is the Jebel Ali Free Zone Handicap. As a handicap going for an $80,000 purse, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 18 horses entered, but only 16 can go. 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the turf course. Gonna take here as a top selection the number 5 horse City Walk. Let's go 539 in your TriCast trifecta. 539 TriCast trifecta. Top selection the 5 horse City Walk. This 6-year-old gelding by Brazen Bow here. Godolphin Doan, Saeed Bin Sur trains. Daniel Thedhope gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 27th of January locally here at Meydan. 6 furlongs on yielding ground and enlisted stakes, and he finished 5th by 1 3/4 lengths that day, and he just stalked without getting the good turn of foot. I don't think he really liked the give in the ground. Going to see a lot faster ground today. Should get a good trip, and I think he could finally find the victory here today. 2 back, he ran at Meydan, first off the bench on the 6th of January, 5 furlongs and enlisted stakes, and he finished 11th by 11 lengths that day, and he just wasn't getting anything. He stalked, he never quickened up, he actually weakened out of it, and it just wasn't his day to win there. And then prior to that, at Chelmsford in the UK on the 15th of September, 6 furlongs on the poly track and a handicap. First off the 2-month refreshing, stepped down in class, he won by 2 lengths. He sat back early, had a little traffic, but when he got to the front end at the top of the lane, quickened him nicely. I thought it was a very good going away victory. He's actually 2 for 2 on the poly track in the UK before on the all weather. He won at Newcastle before that in June over the 5 and a handicap very, very nicely, winning by 1 3/4 lengths. On his turf races, when he sees the wet ground, he doesn't really show up, but he's going to see quick ground today. I think he get a good trip. I think he can win. The 3-horse Batuan for Miguel Barcelona. I think he needed the race last time out, first off the bench here, Meydan, on the yielding ground. Also, another horse that goes up a lot, I think, with firm ground. He's getting some serious class release from some of the races in France and in the UK. I'll give him a shot here at 10-1 also, because I think he's loaded. To recap my selection for the second from Meydan now, I'm going to take the 5-horse City Walk. Give kudos to the 3-horse Batuan. 539 TriCast trifecta. Use the 5 and 3 both in the plays pot or the multi-race wager, whatever you decide to play. Let's get to the third race from Meydan. It's the co-feature Group 3 UAE Oaks. It's a Group 3 event going for a $150,000 purse, race for 3-year-olds here. Field of 7 horses going 1,900 meters or mile 3/16 on the all-weather, on the dirt course. My top selection here, I'm going to go with the number 5 horse, Mimi Kashui. I'm going to go 532 in your TriCast trifecta. 532 TriCast trifecta. Top selection of 5 horse, Mimi Kashui. 3-year-old fiddled by City of Light. Miguel Barcelona gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 20th of January here, Meydan. 1 mile and listed stakes, the UAE 1,000 guineas. And she went by 4 1/4 lengths, and from a tracking position, she basically got the lead at the top of the lane. She quickened up and she kept going. A very, very good going away victory. Going around 2 turns shouldn't be a problem. She has the farther pace to win, and I think with every single race she's been on the improve, and I think she could get the job done here today. 2 back in the conditions race, 23rd of December, Meydan, 7 furlongs in the dirt. The horse won by 2 lengths, and again from a tracking position, she quickened up nicely, and she went away with it, opening up by more lengths late. A very good race there. And then on second off the bench, on her sophomore effort on the 1st of December, Meydan, 7 furlongs in the main race. She finished 4th by 5.5 lengths that day. She just kind of stalked, but never weakened out of it, but never quickened up either. I do think she needed the race for the experience. And then prior to that debut here, Meydan in November over the 6th, she finished 4th by 8 lengths, and she never really got running. But I also think she needed the race there. But coming here, not the world's toughest horses. At 3-2, I'm going to use her. She's a single for me in the multi-race. The quad pod probably begins with this race. I would single her there. But to recap my selection for the third from Meydan, it's the Group 3 UAE Oaks. Let's take the 5 horse Mimi Kashui. 532 TriCast trifecta. To the 4th race now from Meydan. It is the Lord Glitters Handicap. It's a handicap going for an $80,000 purse. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 13 horses. A baker's dozen going to lawn. 1,600 meters in distance or a mile on that turf course. I'm going to take here the 3-horse Laser Show. Let's go 3 3, 6, 13 in your TriCast trifecta. 3, 6, 13 TriCast trifecta. Top selection 3 horse Laser Show. 6-year-old gelding by New Approach. Godolphin Doan, Saeed Bin Sur train. Daniel Thudhope gets the mount, who's also the regular rider of Lord Glitters, by the way. Most recently ran the horse against two tough competition here, about 6 weeks ago, or a month ago, excuse me, here in the Zabil Mile Meydan, 1 mile 20th of January off the bench. He finished 8th by 39 lengths, had a wide trip, completely hit the wall. Tougher horses, throw that race out. Handicap today, gonna have to overcome a high weight, but I think his class relief should really do wonders, and I think he can win here today. Two back at Chelmsford in the UK, 13th of September, 1 mile in the handicap. The horse went by 3/4 in length, and from a stalking position, he quickened up nicely, and he went away with it. A very good race there for him after all said and done. And then in mid-August of 2020 now at Newmarket in handicap, he won by 2 3/4 lengths, and again he stalked, he got the lead, he quickened up nicely, even after not the best beginnings. Give him that break. He did need the race last time out for being his first start in nearly 2 years, or just a little bit over 2 years. But I think if you go off his 2020 form, he didn't run half bad. He's actually on the he actually was in the kind of Derby trail in early 2020 here at Meydan. Ran in the race on Super Saturday where he didn't really do running. Ran the 2,000 guineas on dirt where he didn't do running. But his turf races are a lot better. Coming here, I'm going to give him a shot here at 20-1 because those races aren't half bad, and I think he should get a good trip. I think you also have to use the 6-horse New Kingdom from William Buick. Most recently they ran the horse over here at Meydan over the 7 furlongs in the handicap, and he finished 3rd by 1 3/4 lengths. I thought the trip was too short. He just couldn't get there late, but he ran his heart out. I thought it was an improvement off the race board, which was a heritage handicap at Ascot over the 7, where he finished 15th by 10 lengths. He was with him early on, but then completely crumbled. Coming here with fast ground, I'll give him a shot 6-1 in the place Potter of the multi-race. I think he can definitely win. But to recount my selection for the 4th from Meydan, it's the Lord Glitters handicap. Let's take the 3-horse Laser Show. Give kudos to the 6-horse New Kingdom. 3-6-13, TriCast Trifecta. 3-6 in your multi-race. The 5th race from Meydan, it's the Group 3 Nad Al Sheba Trophy. It's a Group 3 event for $200,000. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 14 horses, going 2,800 meters, or mile 3/4 on the turf course. Named after Nad Al Sheba. Very good track. I always like their turf racing there. And dirt, the straight 6 furlong dirt sprints. I love those races. But my top selection here, I'm going to go with the number 10 horse, Siskany. I'm going to go 10-8-13 in your TriCast Trifecta. 10-8-13 TriCast Trifecta. Top selection is the 10 horse Siskany. This 5-year-old given by DeBowie. Godolphin Doan. Charlie Outby trains. William Buick gets the mount. Horse hasn't been seen since the 30th of November. That came at Kempton. Mile and a half in a listed stakes, and he finished 3rd by a neck that day, and he just kind of stalked. He had a lead. He hit the wall late. He just couldn't keep up, but he ran his heart out there. I thought the race was just a little bit too quick of a turnaround from the previous race. Coming here off a little bit more refreshing, longer trip, which I think he could stay. I think the horse could run a good race and win here today. 2 back, he ran the Group 1 Prix von Bayern at Munich over heavy ground, a mile and a half, 6 November, and he finished 3rd by 12 lengths, and I thought the heavy ground got to him. His wheels were spinning, never getting a good handle of it. It wasn't the day to win, and then prior to that at Newmarket in the listed stakes over the mile and a half, 23rd of September, he won by 2 1/4 lengths, and from coming farther behind than he normally did, he settled well, he quickened up a lot, and he got the job done. A very good race there. And then the Group 3 Legacy Cup Stakes at Newbury over the mile 3/8, 17th of September. He finished 8th by 14 lengths and just never really got the run. Left the 6-7 month refreshing. He needed the race there. It was his first race since the Red Sea Cup in Saudi Arabia over the mile 7 furlongs on the turf, where he finished 3rd by 6 lengths. He just couldn't catch the winner, but he ran his heart out. Refreshing here, I definitely think he could win. I think you also have to use the 8-horse Kamari for James Doyle and Charlie Outby. Most recently in the Legacy Cup at Newbury over the mile 3 furlongs, he finished 6 by 7 lengths, and I just thought he sat a little bit closer. Before that, in the Glory Stakes at Goodwood over the mile and a half, I thought he finished a good second. I do also think he won a little bit more ground that day. And then at Newmarket before that in June over the mile and a half in the listed stakes, he finished 2nd by 3 1/4 lengths. And again, he was traveling decently. I think he wants the longer trip. He's going to get it today. Watch out for him staying late and for your multi-race. But to recap my selection for the 5th, the 420 from Meydan, I almost said Newmarket, but from Meydan, it's the Group 3 Nad Al Sheba Trophy. Let's take this 10 horse Siskany. Give kudos to the 8 horse Kamari. 10-8 13 TriCash Trifecta, 10-8 in your multi-race. The sixth event, the co-featured on the program from Meydan, it's the Group 3 Dubai Millennium Stakes. Group 3 event going for $150,000 purse, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. A dozen horses are going 2,000 meters or a mile and a quarter on that turf course. My top selection, I'm going to take the one horse Nation's Pride. Let's go 1-9-11 in your TriCash Trifecta. 1-9-11 TriCash Trifecta. Top selection, one horse Nation's Pride. Godolphin owns this 4-year-old colt by Telefilio. Charlie Outby trains. William Buick gets the mount. Horse's most recent outing came stateside on the 5th of November at Keeneland, a mile and a half in the Grade 1 Brews Cup turf. He finished 5th by 3 3/4 lengths that day. He was with them early on, but then he just kind of hit the wall. He just, I thought they were asking a little bit too much too soon. He wasn't as good as the other Godolphin horse. One is Yabir, one is his 3-year-old the year before. But, he still ran his heart out there. Refreshing here over the mile and a quarter, which I think he definitely could win, even with a high weight of 136 pounds. I think he's going to get a good trip to win. Two back, he ran very locally to me at Aqueduct, 5 minutes away from me, basically. Mile and a half in the Grade 3 Jockey Club Derby. He won by 6 1/4 lengths, and Frankie rode a terrific race. He stalked all the way around. He got to the front and quickened up nicely in the small group, and he got the job done. A very good race for him there. And then prior to that, in the Saratoga Derby at Saratoga, mile 3/16 on the Mellon Turf course, he won by 1/4 lengths. And basically, the race was done 3/16 into it because William Buick got great position. He quickened up nicely in the front end and went away with it. A very good race. And then I thought he was a little bit too far out of it in the Belmont Derby, where he just couldn't keep up late. Classic Callaway really ran his heart out. But coming here today, I think at 3 to 5, I know he's a short price. I think he's a very, very likely winner here. So I'm going to use him on the ticket. So to recap my selection for the 6 from Meydan, it's the Group 3 Dubai Millennium Stakes. Let's take the one horse Nation's Pride, 1-9-11 in your TriCash Trifecta. The nightcap, the 7th race from Meydan. It is the Jebel Ali Port Stakes. It's a handicap going for a purse of $80,000. Races for 3-year-olds and upwards here. We have a field, as my iPad craps out, it always does it during these videos. We have a field of 15 horses entered to go 1,400 meters or 7 furlongs on the dirt course. I'm going to take here the number 10 horse, Western Symphony, as a top selection. Let's go 10-6-1 in your TriCash Trifecta. 10-6-1 TriCash Trifecta. Top selection 10 horse Western Symphony. If I were going by Charmardal here, Richard Mullen, the veteran, gets the mount. Seems like he's been having a little bit of a quiet meeting at Meydan. Most recently, we're in the horse on the 27th of January here, Meydan on the slop. 7 furlongs and a handicap, and he went by 2.5 lengths that day. He stalked, got a very muddy trip. He quickened up nicely, though, and it went away with it. A very good race. Gonna have to overcome a wide post draw here today from barrier number 13, but I think he has some forwardly pace to win, and I think get the job done. 2 back here at Meydan on the turf and a handicap on the 15th of January over the 7. He finished second by a half a length that day, and he moved late that day, but he just, he was a little lackadaisical. Maybe his turf isn't his preferred surface. And then a Jebel Ali on the 17th of December, 7 furlongs and a handicap. He finished third by 6 1/4 lengths that day, drawn very wide. He moved a little bit late, but, getting up that hill, I thought it took a little bit out of him, but it was a good stamina builder. And then a Meydan on the dirt, 1 mile and a handicap at the end of November. He finished second by 1.5 lengths. Again, stalking. Needs something more late, but he ran his heart out. Back to 7, back to turf, dirt. I'm going to use him here. I think the 6 horse Royal Muse is your second likeliest winner. Most recently here in a handicap back on the 13th of January. He won by a nose that day, and from a tracking position, he got the job done at the top of the lane, but Tango Shea did bite your nails a little bit with the ride because it looked like he was hitting the wall, but he ran his heart out there getting the victory. Prior to that, in handicap in November over the 7 here at Meydan off the bench, he finished second by a neck. Again, tracking the front end. He got the lead. He got caught late, but again, he ran his heart out there. Coming here today, another very likely winner. Gonna have to overcome a wide poster being from barrier number 14. So I have barrier number 13 and 14 in this race. It's gonna be exciting. To recap my selection now for the 7 from Meydan, let's take the 10 horse Western Symphony as a top selection. Give kudos to the 6 horse Royal Muse. 10-6-1 TriCash Trifecta. 10-6 in your multi race. So good luck to all. And please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.